and now you're just like, whoa.
Whoa.
Learn thyself. That's all I'm saying. Confucius was right. Learn thyself. Ironically, that's kind of
That
today's
Sam Lot dog.
damn message. Oh my gosh, that feels like today's message.
Know thyself?
Yeah.
Learn thyself.
Yeah. Unlearn the world and learn thyself would be a better representation of the things. What's going on, everybody? It's Coach Lyndon Ann.
Coach Debbie here.
And we're, of course, just doing Coach's Corner. So it's funny, right? Because it's like a season of gratefulness, but also a hard-ass season, right?
It
like
really
this,
is, yeah.
this season is, we've been doing a lot more physical stuff, Tough Mudder, Grease Gauntlet.
Grease Gauntlet.
I want to call it the Tough Mudder so bad because it just makes sense in wording. But the Grease Gauntlet was fun.
It was fun.
It was like, I was like, this is too easy. And I went home later.
I felt
and
it.
I was, sore.
Yep.
Like, I went to sleep. I knocked
passed out.
Yeah,
I passed out after that. I was like,
this isn't even that bad. And then I went home and I was like,
yeah. Oh, definitely. Like, I think it was a great challenge for us because we had just done the Lilac Run.
Yeah.
And I think we were preparing so much for the Lilac Run. We gave it our all. And this Grease Gauntlet was like fun. It was a step back from that.
It really was.
And I didn't realize while I was going through it how tough it was, you know? And then afterwards, I definitely crashed, took a shower, got the mud off me, threw my shoes in the laundry, and
I literally threw those shoes out.
Oh, did you?
I threw them out.
Oh.
Yeah, they were a pair of shoes I feel I had as a trainer for like
See,
a long time.
I
They were talking and the whole nine.
I wore the new joints.
I got rid of them. Yeah.
So I had to.
I chose myself.
Yeah.
Ashley was like, "We throwing these out?" I said, they are old. They talking. Yeah, we can throw them.
That's fair. Yeah, and then I passed out. I woke up, my legs were sore. I was like, okay, that was actually that was actually a challenge.
Standing up.
And I think I know me, I feed off the energy of like people, so there was just so much good energy there and so many good people. Also the high school kids were there, so trying to keep up with them.
Yeah, shout out to the kids, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
They made it fun.
They really did.
Like the adults kind of went there and kind of like a little bit, but the kids were like, I mean, the energy was on 10,000.
Yeah.
I was excited. Like that's why I was holding it back, but also like pushing myself in certain spaces. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Well, and my experience was a little different. I didn't get to push myself like that. As leader of space, when we do stuff like this, I find myself always having someone I'm, let's say, a charge to, right? Or someone I'm motivating to do the thing or to get done. This time it happened to be my wife. She just randomly said she was going to join.
Shout outs to Ashley.
I want to say shout outs to Ashley. I want to say Emily pushed her. I want to say you pushed her. Like, I was just like, I mean, if you want to do it, you want to do it. Like, I wasn't thinking like that. And all of a sudden she was just like, oh yeah, I'm riding with you in the morning. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
We showed up and like, she was working. She was working. It was hard for her, for sure. Like, I don't think she had no training.
Yeah.
Right? Like no training whatsoever. I think she came to 2 Sunday runs, but she walked both of them.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like, I mean, zero training, but finished it. Right? She put up a whole post about it. It was awesome. A lot of times, like it's up here. Like it's up here that you can't do a thing and that you really can do a thing. Again, no prior training. She's been holding the baby the last couple months, just had a kid. It's been about a year, so recovery was definitely a thing. But she's back. And like the fact that she's back is interesting because again, before that, I think she told herself she wasn't capable of something like that. Then she did it. So for me, I was the guy giving the push. I was the one that she was running with. I was the one giving instruction about running and covering the things. And like every once in a while, I got to like have a little fun or do something that was somewhat challenging on it, but not like fully, right? What made me laugh was that small mud pit they had that went down. They were like, you guys want to go out? I was like, absolutely not. That's
Talking about the tarp?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, this is literally just a pit of mud.
Yeah, I was like,
it's not even long.
Who put this together?
Yeah. I was like, if it was like that whole path, I probably would have been like, cool.
Yeah.
But it was only a couple steps. I was like, all right, no, I'm not doing it.
It's a kiddie pool of mud.
It really was a kiddie pool. I was like, this is not it, right? And then the part that makes me laugh, I heard you and Garth talking about it this morning, was the
The bear crawl.
Bear crawl
Oh, yeah.
part. Okay, so
Yeah.
we've talked about this, right? He crawled through tough stuff. I jumped over all of them like an idiot because I didn't see it. I was too busy.
If I
coaching.
would have seen it, yeah.
And then Eminem were stepping over, so I just assumed
that it was a step over.
about
Right.
going over. So I didn't even.
The
look.
dude there in front of it wasn't explaining anything.
There was a dude there when you went.
There was a dude
no
taking
guy.
pictures.
Okay, all right. I don't even remember if there was a guy taking pictures.
Yeah.
Right. I was so busy pulling Ash along that I didn't even look. And what made it so funny is, like, again, you get to see, like, I think for her, it was one of the first times she saw, like, no, I really do this, right? It wasn't something where I'm like, I kind of go. It's like, no, I'm running 10 minutes and 30 seconds on a mile without really pushing myself, right? Like, I'm going, but I'm not pushing myself. I'm just going, right? And I don't think people really realize how big that is, because most of the time you hear about runners, it's like 7-minute miles.
Well, when you started, what was your time?
My time was my first mile, like starting running.
Yeah.
24 minutes.
Yeah, that's
it was
crazy.
bad. I just had another friend who started. He 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep. I was like, it feels like death. You could walk faster than I'm jogging. Like and I was like, yo, this is rough, right? But now it feels like cruise control. You know what I'm saying? So like 11 minutes, 10 minutes, those feel pretty like normal for me to keep.
Yeah.
Right. And the difference between a minute difference is
huge.
Way more than you think it is. Like you'd have told me that a year ago, I'd have been like, man, you lying. But it's definitely different.
A huge difference.
Yeah. See, but that was the thing. I came into running and had never really ran, so like it was learning everything all over again. I became a student of a whole new space. And like I took lessons from you.
I mean, that's been cool to see. Like
yeah.
My only tattoo is still learning, so like
yeah.
I love returning to being a student.
I think it's the best way to go.
Yeah, we were just talking earlier about how often you should return to the fundamentals, the basics. You said it this morning at 6 a.m.
All time.
We're breaking down just the normal movements, a normal squat pattern. You know, how should it actually look? The more you return to it, the more you can do the lofty big thing.
Correct. Because
you have the fundamentals down. You have a solid foundation.
Life is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, and people think it's just about this one thing. It's like, nah, it's your freedom of who you are, right? So like to return to a squat and to be like, yes, I'm efficient this way, but I'm not efficient this way. And then to reassess that squat. And let's say, as an example, let's say you're moving a certain amount of weight and then you make this adjustment and you can't handle half of that. That's a real humility check for like a lot of people. Like people don't realize how much it really takes to humble thyself.
Yeah. Right?
Like, and I mean that, right? So like learning running, I mean 24-minute miles, bro. That's like, I'm fit. Like, so to me, this is horribly humbling to step into a new realm and realize that I ain't got no gas. Like my gas is short-lived. I ain't got no stamina like I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at stopping and going, but I can't just keep going.
I just had an epiphany moment. You just talking there. I realized most of my life I've been aware of ego and almost afraid of my ego and not sure how to use it, to the point where I was headed towards humbling experiences more than anything.
Got it.
To try and keep my ego at the smallest I could.
Same.
And I'm like, now in this season, I'm learning to cultivate my ego in a healthy way and use it to benefit myself and benefit the people around me. I see people on the other bend. Whichever way you're at, this pendulum has to swing to balance. So I'm like, if you are on the other end where you don't really head towards humbling experiences, try it out. Like, there's so much growth in getting outside of yourself and realizing that, like, you're not unique in the fact that like you are bad at something. You're bad at something you've never done before. You're
not unique in the fact that you might be good at this. You're not unique in the fact that you may suck at another thing.
Yeah.
You're literally not. You're unique, but not unique at the exact same time. And again, for most people to look at that, they're like, those are conflicting messages. Well, it depends on where you're special, right? Like, you're not special everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And to think you are is to miss the point, right? Much larger conversation there. But again, overall, like, fitness has taught that lesson to me in spades. I get strong fast, But conditioning, it feels like a dredge. It feels like I'm dragging myself through a grease gauntlet like the whole time. I'm like, all right, we're gonna run it again, right? Like, and to testament or to point, the day after the grease gauntlet, I ran 5 miles. I went to Boxart, Turning Point Park, and went down there and ran all the way down to the pier and then came back.
That's a run.
Right? Yeah, like that. Yeah, I forgot. Especially with my legs being more tired than I thought. But also, when I did that before, I had trouble maintaining 15 minutes.
Yeah.
This time around, it was 11, 10:30. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Like, I was like, holy shit. Like, and I don't think it's been a year since the last time I went there. I don't think it's been a year. The last time I went was when I was training for the half marathon.
Oh yeah, that's fire.
And I didn't even get to do the half marathon because my feet swelled up so bad. I have hemophilia, in case people don't know, which can cause the body to not clot properly, which can make swelling really, really terrible. So it was funny, right? I remember I used to use my circumstance as a crutch to not do things. And then one day I woke up and I said, I want to do more. I want to be better. I want to do more. And I definitely know that my daughter's birth was a catalyst. I wanted to be a good man in her eyes. Like, that was important to me, right? And like, shout outs to Ashley for this one too. She always reminds me of how the kids see me. So like, that's big for me. Like, because again, there's days like, you think I wanted to run 5 miles after that?
Yeah,
I was
right.
like, I'm tired, my legs hurt,
Like
I'm
that.
not even really doing what I want to do. Like, you know, like as far as like, I'm supposed to run tomorrow, I don't feel like it, but like a year ago, that would have been my talk. This time around, I was like, great, we're running 5 miles tomorrow. Like, I didn't even bat my eye. And ironically, people were like, yo, you literally are Mr. Getting It Daily. Like, you're not just saying that. You're really out there walking, talking, and living it. And I was like, yeah, but I don't make it seem like it's all fun. I don't make it seem like it's all easy.
Yeah.
I don't want to lie to you guys, but I want to show you what it's like when you really live a lifestyle of change. Fair? And we're seeing that all across the way.
And a funny universal moment, bringing it back to Ashley.
Yeah.
You just said, I am really Mr. GID. I think I've been wanting to see Ashley plug in the community more, and I think the Grease Gauntlet, from her comment, I think she got to really feel in community for like one of the first times in a while.
Yeah.
And
she complained about being sore all day.
Yeah.
Then the next day.
And sit in that Mrs. GID spot for a little bit. Like, that's
For sure.
That's definitely it. Like, more of that energy. Like, I love that.
This community is waiting to accept her. And like, she gonna be mad at me for sharing this, but we are honest here. We said we'll be honest. So, like, she struggles with that. You get what I'm saying? She struggles with feeling accepted in space, and she doesn't realize how many people are walking that same exact story in here. And I'm like,
and I see it. Like,
I
see
time,
it in her.
like with other people,
with other
not
people, and
not
with
even
Ashley.
her. And just other. I'm saying in general, it's a story that's being written.
Yeah.
Where people are trying to be better and figure out their things, and I'm just like, yo, we're all dealing with this, bruh. You get what I'm saying? If you really look at what it is and see it for what it really is, you get to see exactly who you are and what you're feeling yourself through. So for her to say that, but for us to see that, it was so different.
Yeah.
Right? And that was like big for me. But again, I'm hoping that it became the lesson of internalizing how much value she really has and how amazing of a person she really is. Like, I didn't marry somebody who wasn't an amazing person.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and I can only say that lesson so many times. I can only teach that lesson so many times before it's on you to take the lesson. Yes, which is why we talked about revisiting the basics. That's where that came from. Revisiting the basics has made it different for us. Like, people think you're an amazing runner because you're an amazing runner. I was like, no, you tell the story all the time of how you started with walking. You had asthma and you started with walking. Your movement became your medicine. Like, I tell people all the time, I was broken before I became strong. Like, I literally was weak before I became strong, right? You were asthmatic before you became Mr. Go, right? Like, they were two different things. Like, and people don't realize, like, we persevered to get there. There was no blinding gift.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Maybe I do have a tribute to getting strong, but I didn't show up and just magically had strength. No, I was fighting for it a lot, right? And that became who we are today. So, message for the clients, a message for anybody who's watching. Inner strength is the name of the game. I said it today. I said that let's say the vision or the life you want to live is manifest twice, once in your mind and then once in the world. And I think a lot of people are going to look at that, and I think I'm going to get a half and half response. Some people are going to be like, that's fire and amazing. Some people are going to be like, I don't get it. Right? And hopefully for the people who don't get it, you realize, again, your mind is where your change starts. It's not about how amazing I think I am. It's about me taking, I like to do, visualize it, right? So I will go to a room in silence and I will visualize being a good father, being someone who can show up in the face of adversity, being someone who never leaves people or quits. And if you know me now, you'll go, that's who you are. But, shoot, how old is my daughter? Say almost over 15 years ago, if you had said, you would have been like, man, you really want to be that guy? Not sure how you're going to get there. That would have been the conversation.
No, I feel the same about myself.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot of it. And again, it wasn't the work, some of it was in community, but a lot of it was my own, journey. So if you're watching and you're wondering how you'd start to make the change, I like Lao Tzu's quote. You know which one?
Nah.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It literally isn't. It's not, and we're happy to help you with whatever that first step is. That's why we exist as a space. But at the same time, it may not be what you think it is, right? I have people who come in and they're like, I got it. And then they have to humble themselves. And that's where the journey really starts. They think it's the sign up, but it's the humbling. Yeah, some people are used to showing up in a specific way. Yeah. But then there's the breakdown. I saw Justine's moment today. That was her real moment. The journey before that was just platitude and attitude, right? That was real. And I guarantee you, I'm definitely gonna have to follow up on that, but I guarantee you she's gonna look at it differently from this point forward. I'm gonna look at her differently because she shared some of the stuff she's done over time and what happened. And I heard the self-talk. Right? Justine, I'm sorry a little bit, but she started talking about she was too heavy. And I was like, that's not true. It's just your pattern. And we started to talk through it. And then she turned to me she used to do Wing Chun and she did all this amazing stuff. Exactly.
I did know she did Wing Chun.
See,
We connected
I
had no idea. I was like, yo, I used to do Wing Chun. I was like, oh yeah.
That's amazing, right? Again, she was talking herself down. And I was just like, yeah, so we're just going to walk right past that. I'm not acknowledging you talking down about yourself because I don't agree. And as your coach, I'm not going to agree with you. I'm going to see the better in you. And we're going to change that self-talk, right? Manifestation is the name of the game. But visualization, then followed by manifestation, right? See it, do it. That's literally how it goes. Fair?
See it, do it.
Yeah. And if you need help with those steps, hit us up.
Absolutely.
So, do you have anything you want to add?
I'll share my visualization technique.
Sure.
So yours is you walk into a room and you visualize the person.
Yep.
I think my visualization is more of in the moment. So I commit to myself that I want to be a certain version of myself, and that is a visualization. And then in the moments, I slow myself down enough to be like, this is the moment where I need to visualize what that person would say or how they would act, and then I need to do that and to get to the version that I want to be. And I have to do that 50 times a day in small moments of, I could not say anything here, but would that person I want to be say something? And most times the answer is yes. So there's this other voice in my head that's like, yo, this is what Devi in the future would do, or this is that Devi and how he would move. Yeah. And I just have to keep staying true to that.
See, what's really funny is your okay, so to tie it.
Yeah.
Right? To tie it, because I always want, like, I think you know this about me now. Like, I'm never cutting down a thing. I'm
Making connection,
bridging it,
yep.
right? But like a lot of people who don't know me, they think it's like a pummel. I'm like, that's not it.
Yeah.
So ironically, you have to do the same thing I do to do what you do.
Okay.
Fair?
I agree.
Like not like I'm going into a dark room and like again, I'm allowing no distractions so I can focus on that. Right? But like, you know, you've seen me. You'll see me like I'm going to do something. We know it's going to be difficult. I know it's going to be difficult. You'll see me like my body's like kind of right. I enter my mode, right? And then when I'm in that mode, it's like the failure is only going to happen if I allow it, and then I boom, and then I go for it, which is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So in order to understand that the current you isn't that version, you have to do what I'm doing. You're just doing it a little different.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Like you're just not. You're not sitting in a dark room, but like you might be walking around like I'm really trying to like learn my truth and speak my truth. I'm going to become a truth seeker. So then when that pops up, you're just like, well, Debbie, who's a truth seeker, does that.
Yeah, Debbie right now wouldn't.
Right.
But
Debbie, the truth seeker, would. And listen, if people don't know, they're finding out. Like what you were thinking and stuff like that, if they didn't know before, I'd be like, hey, yeah. Sometimes I'd be like, and they say it, they be looking at me, I'd be like, no, what he said, whatever he said, he right? Yeah, wrong. Like, that's a good on service. It'd be like that sometimes. So I think it's good, and I think a lot of it, like the best part about it, right, is the fact that the process isn't different.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, if they realize that, they would just do the process. Everybody's always looking for the quick fix, but the quick fix is just an ad lib to the thing that works, right? That's why I want, like, again, I named the company Getting It Daily because I was like, no, only through your consistent effort will you see real result, right? You can pick any diet you want. Consistent effort brings your result, right? And it's so funny watching people be so used to a quick fix. Yeah. Right? I'm not even going to say not wanting more because I don't think that's true, but so used to a quick fix. So it's an amazing process I'm getting to watch and stand on the other side and be blessed to participate in.
It really is.
Fair? I'm looking forward to doing it more and more for people as time passes, but at the same time, you know, you gotta give something up to get something.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are learning that.
Yeah.
Like that's everybody wants it all, but I'm like people will see again how I'm living currently, and then they'll be like, man, you live a pretty good life. I was like, yeah, but you weren't there when I tanked my credit to give my family what they wanted. You weren't there when I got discharged from the military and I came back and gave my entire savings just to make it happen for us to have a house. Like, you weren't there for that. So what you're seeing is me going, I'm not sure, and then pushing it. People have heard talk about it with this space, but like, I didn't know if this was going to succeed.
Yeah.
Right, and here we are. We've sat and had conversations. I'm like, we closing our doors next month, and then here you go. You like, I hope not. I'm like, something about me tells me that we might have to, but I'm not banking. I'm not gonna move
in that way,
in that space. And every time, it's been like a blow up, and I'm just like, I don't know why God does this outside of the fact that I need to grow, but at the same time, I'm grateful that it always works out for my good.
And you know, I'm having all these moments right now on camera.
We don't get to talk.
It's been a while since
we sit and talk because it's been busy. It's been a busy fucking season. So, but please.
You said everybody wants it all, and immediately in my head I was like, but you don't have the capacity. And I think that's the name of the game. Like, growth is increasing your capacity, but also, in order to grow, you have to humble yourself, right? And realize that your capacity is limited. I had to have that recently. We had that talk about time. But realizing that you have a limited capacity is not like a failure on your part. It's actually the only way that you can live in the world. Like, you can't see all spectrum of light. You can't see half of the things that are out there in the world because you had to limit yourself. Your brain has to be on a limiter, or you'll explode. I don't know what'll happen. I honestly don't know what'll happen, but like we have to have some limit to our capacity.
What's sad to me is so many people, because they feel like their capacity is higher than it is, are living in states of depression, anxiety, all the things in between, right? When really you could manifest exactly what you want. But again, it's not easy. Not easy in the least bit. That's why I try to tell people, like, no, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I'm telling you it's worth it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. If you realize it's worth it, then, again, you might persevere through some stuff that you really don't. And if you see, like, the best version of you at the end of that journey, again, just keep taking the step. Step ain't easy, but keep taking the step, right? And all of a sudden, you're living a happier, healthier life. And you're just like, sometimes you turn around and you're like, damn, I don't even realize how far I got to get here. Right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I've said a lot of people, man. Like
I feel like every time I look back, I'm like, damn.
Big facts.
Okay.
Big facts. Like, I mean, that's how it is for me. But when I talk to people, sometimes they say that's not the case.
Yeah.
So I like to honor.
I feel stagnant.
Like honor
fair.
people's things. But that's why, like we were talking about, even why we take representations of a person's journey. It's exactly why we do it. It's to show that person, like, no, you have gotten far. Or I know you feel stuck, but let me show you how far you've come.
Yeah, got to track it.
I laugh because recently, and again, we'll go over by a little bit. I was going to only go to 30, but recently someone said that we're focusing on weight loss, right? And I was just like, nope, not even a little bit.
Not even? Nope.
Not even a little bit. The space has never, ever been focused on weight loss. I will tell you how to lose excess weight.
If that's what you're looking for.
Right? I'll literally share, like, lining up via, like, nutrition and other stuff, and that looks like losing some weight. Because a lot of us are carrying being bloated, or a lot of us are carrying, like, let's say adipose fat or fat cells, right? And if people are really looking for change, again, it's going to start with you being consistent. How many people I know yo-yo? They want to, one day they want to eat what they want. The next day they don't want to eat what they want to be all strict for like 2 days and think that's going to, like, get rid of that circumstance. And I'm like, it kind of works like that, but not in the way you think it does. And then I explain that. And usually alignment looks like sacrifice. So as soon as people hear alignment, they literally assume that it has to be about weight loss. It's like, nah, the goal here is to show you that the happiest, healthiest version of you does not do that. You said you want to gain muscle. Here's what someone who's gaining muscle has to do. You say you want to lose weight. This is what someone who's looking to look leaner has to do. Oh, you just want your body to change altogether. Here's what it looks like for your body to change. This is what that person does. We're walking people out and trying to show them their dharma.
Yeah.
Literally. Like, if you really pay attention,
that.
That's exactly what's happening. I'm trying to have you manifest the best version of who you are. It's not about what I think. It's about what you want, right? And sometimes it doesn't match what you keep trying to do. Most of the time, I would say, as it's a journey. So I'm hoping that a lot of people, like, receive those messages and they really get it. But I think we're making some shifts in that regard anyway in the house. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
All right. So yeah, we'll wrap it up. Actually, it wasn't as
up.
long as I thought. We'll wrap it up. And again, we have so much to share, but so little time. So we're gonna wrap it up here. We'll come back either Tuesday or Wednesday and talk with you all again.
Like and share this.
Yeah.
Much love. Stay tuned.
Peace.
Peace.